Chinese AI is the best thing that you can be focusing on right now if you run an AI heavy business, whether you're doing coding, whether you're running tasks, loops, any agentic stuff at all. We've been on this wave for months at my AI company. And in this video, I'm going to go through why this is so important. And we're going to go over the benchmark test. We're going to go over the cost savings and what I think is about to happen with open models, the government restricting a lot of American models, and what's going to be happening in the next couple of months that will impact your business if you're in the world of AI. So, New York Post article 2 days ago, Chinese AI now on par with Anthropic in terms of cybersecurity. So, if you're not familiar, let me catch you up. About a month ago, Anthropic released Fable 5. It was actually really good. I used it for about 24 hours before it got restricted, marking the first restriction from an AI lab that the government has restricted. Now, that's a separate topic that we'll get into here in a second because I don't love it and I am kind of concerned about that. However, on OpenRouter, which if you don't know what OpenRouter is, it's basically a single API key that you can paste in your project or your tool, your agent or whatever, and then access any models that you want. So you don't got to go set up this subscription and that subscription and vice versa. And it's the most popular in the world. And so OpenRouter has a lot of data. OpenRouter can show like, hey, most people are using this model or this model or whatever. So one that I want to show you, for example, is GLM 5.2, okay? So GLM 5.2. So this model dropped not long ago. And from the benchmarks, as well as some people that I know that have been actually using this for this is more advanced coding. I haven't had any code work to do in the last couple of weeks myself. But they are telling me that this is actually quite competent. And now, just to give you proof here, this is OpenRouter's model rankings, okay? So this is completely up to date. It's basically showing what the most popular models in the world are. Now, you've got to understand, you have companies like a Meta, and like a Google, which Google has Gemini and things. But there are some massive companies that are trying to make their own AI. And now there are also massive companies that are switching from American AI, mainly Anthropic, OpenAI, to these cheaper Chinese models. And there's a couple reasons why. And now listen, I'm a proud American. I'm America first. I don't think our administration is competent when it comes to AI. And I think we're about to get our ass kicked in the race with China. At the same time, we now have governmental restrictions saying you can use this, but you can't. Oh, you can have access to 5.5, but you can't use Fable. Why? They're the same model. They're the same risk. They can both be broken in the same way. That is oversight. That is overreach that I don't like. And I think it is scaring a lot of people. A friend of mine yesterday that runs a software company actually bought $24,000 worth of local hardware to run open models on. And we might actually be doing the same thing here at my AI company. And the reason is simple. And there's multiple reasons. Number one is cost. These models, like for example, we use Kimi K2 in my actual software. So we were using 2.5 and I think now we're on 2.7. Yeah. We started using 2.5 when it came out to do call reviews and some other things for our software. It is as good as the leading American models, but it's like 1/100th of the cost. Sometimes it's even better in many cases. And there's not as many restrictions and just, silly, stupid things. And because of the cost, you got to understand, the whole reason that we didn't go to space, supposedly, is because of cost. That's why Elon and SpaceX is such a big thing. It's because we're making it cost effective to go to space. That is the driver. It's economic. It's not want to or can we. It's like just the money, right? Resources are important. Now, if you're running a company, you're selling AI solutions or you're running it yourself or, many different use cases, cost is a really big factor, whether you want to admit it or not. And if I can get 80% of the output compared to an American model from a Chinese model, but for 1/100th of the cost, that actually makes up for that delta in between the two. And so something like Kimi 2.5, for example, or GLM, which, let's see, is GLM ranked on here yet? Here's all spend, that's market share. DeepSeek, let me see the benchmarks here. Oh yeah, there you go. So the benchmarks, which is not always really accurate to real world use. I want to be clear with that. Just because a benchmark is good you can kind of rig the benchmark. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, it's the best model for me to use. But if we take a look here, you've got the American labs. You got 4.8, 5.5 high, which I use a lot, 4.7. I'm not a fan of Anthropic since 4.5 or 4.6, whatever it was. I think it's gone to crap, to be honest. But then look what we got here. We got GLM 5.2 max at a 51.1 on, I don't know what benchmark this is, intelligence index score. Now let's look at coding index score. Similar, boom, we got GLM. Now the big difference is, you might be seeing this, oh, this is in 7th place. This is a magnitude cheaper than the other models. And so let's see here, how much cheaper is GLM 5.2 compared to Opus 5.5 on extra high or X high? Roughly 5 to 7 times cheaper per output token. That is absurd. And the point of this video is I want you guys to get the math here before we get into, policy and government and things. If I can run a model for 7 times cheaper, that means for the same cost, I can get 7 times more output. Now, will there be occasional things that maybe it can't do as well? Of course. But if you are building anything meaningful right now, you really need to be paying attention to this, because if I can do 7 times more for the same cost, that the scaling law of that, if you just run the math, you basically erase any sort of advantage that the American models have on top of what that model can do. And this brings us back to this ban, which just got lifted yesterday, and apparently we're supposed to be getting it back. I haven't seen it today in my own Claude. This sets a bad precedent. If you run a company, you run a software company, you run any company around AI, and then all of a sudden the model that you are built on is banned, you're just not allowed to use it. Says who? Says the government. Why? Just because they can? That's horrible. That's not good at all. That gets into this real worrying world of the best companies or the biggest companies or the companies with the most money, they're buddy-buddy with the government. They can dictate what you have access to or not. And so there is going to be, and there already is, according to the rankings here on spend and usage, there's a massive fluctuation moving, even in Fortune 500, from the American models all the way to these Chinese models. And the Chinese don't care, guys. They don't have as many rules as we have. They don't have as much legislation. They're much more, hey, here's the direction we're going. It's going to happen. You can't really say anything otherwise. And there's good and bad sides to that. But for you've got to think consciously of your own business. And you do have to be selfish here. These models and these labs don't care about you. They don't care about you at all. You get no advantage using them other than the product they're giving you for the cost. But the cost is insane. The cost is inflated. Our energy is scarce. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the compute. We don't have the data centers and all this. This is all a topic now. China does. China has a magnitude greater energy output than we do. Therefore, they can probably train bigger models. The only thing that China doesn't have right now is chip shortage. A lot of ours are export banned. A lot of these NVIDIA chips that are used to train these models, we're not letting them have for obvious reasons. And listen, I'm pro-America winning the AI race, of course. I don't think it's good that China gets AGI and we don't. That's probably not good. But at the same time, you got to look at what our government's doing with these models as well. And that does affect your life. This isn't a political conversation. It's a business conversation. Government says I can't use this. Okay, what do I do now? Oh, but my competitors can, but I can't? That's not a good world. And so I strongly encourage you to read through some of these papers and things like on, the open router rankings and whatnot. There's a lot of Chinese models that are really, really, really good. Kimi is phenomenal. We've used Kimi a lot. I have not used GLM yet, but I've heard really good things. I think the design from GLM is phenomenal, like the front end design work and everything. But you can go through here and read, if you're nerdy about this, you can read, the in and out price, the context windows, and everything else. But basically, to wrap up this video, this will only get worse, I predict. I think the government will get more restrictive. I think there is a chance they ban open source models. There is a high chance. And so maybe it's a good idea to invest in hardware to run these locally, if you can afford it. It's quite expensive. or just pivot to using a DeepSeek, a Kimi, a GLM, something like that as your core infrastructure and the driver of the things in your product or your service or your business or whatever you're doing. Okay, so if you guys want to learn more about AI, check out the description. We're back on YouTube. We're going to be posting as many videos as possible in July. It is a July of opportunity, and we're going to be working. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.